sure we should set up camp so early?
Well, according to my geopad, we have a full day's travel until we get to the Calgary Stampede, so let's get some sleep.
Are you sure this geopad is working? I thought we were almost at the Stampede.
It's fine, okay? All that happened was a little bit of seawater. It's dried up now. It's fine. Let's get some sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
In this episode of CG Kids, we head 'em on out west to Alberta to visit the Calgary Stampede.
We get a crash course in chuck wagon racing and then have a teepee raising contest.
Then we don't waste any time getting the lowdown on a composting technology center. Get it? Waste? Lowdown?
In Jay's geology, I discover how to collect gas from my leftover lunch.
Prancing ponies, proud teepees, and piles of poop, all on this episode of CG Kids.
Canadian Geographic Kids.
This is Calgary, a beautiful city in the foothills of Alberta's Rocky Mountains. It is Canada's 5th largest city, and it has almost 1 million residents, and as you can see, it's a thoroughly modern city in every way.
But every summer, for 10 crazy days, the city returns to its frontier roots with the Calgary Stampede. The various competitions are crazy, like wild saddle bronc riding and even bull riding. And then check out the trick riding.
And of course, bareback riding. Okay, I'm ready.
Ride 'em, cowgirl. Edie and Jamie are in Calgary, just in time for the Calgary Stampede. Almost every year since 1912, this huge rodeo has drawn people to Calgary. Today, cowboys from all over the world head to Western Canada in the summer to whoop it up. Calgary is located in southern Alberta, where the prairies of central Canada meet the Rocky Mountains of western Canada. Calgary was actually the province's very first town. Calgary's name is Gaelic for Bay Farm, and coincidentally, the city sits at the confluence of the Bow and Elbow rivers. See where they meet up here? And there's a huge agriculture and livestock community. If I click on the various regions of Alberta, you can see how the province is mainly boreal forest. But surrounding the city of Calgary is rich prairie land. When the railway reached Calgary in 1883, it linked Alberta with eastern Canada, and soon the city was thriving as a distribution center for the farming and ranching community. But something else happened around this time in Alberta that had a huge impact on the province. Natural gas was discovered when a well was dug for the Canadian Pacific Railway, and a few years after this, oil was discovered, and Alberta was known as the fastest growing province in Canada. The Calgary Stampede is a great way to celebrate Calgary's early beginnings, both in farming and its amazing First Nations history.
We are here on stadium grounds, and this is the chuck wagon barn filled with thoroughbred horses, and we're doing everything we can to fit in.
And this is where we're going to be hooking up with Charlie Profis.
Hey!
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very nice to meet you.
Me too.
Wow, who's this big horse you got here?
This is Quincy.
Hi, Quincy.
How old is Quincy?
18.
Wow.
Thoroughbred?
No, he's quarter horse. We just ride him.
Oh, okay. He's your favorite horse.
Right.
So do you take him out and to do like chuck wagon racings and stuff?
No, we just pony horses with him like in the mornings and stuff.
So
Not
you're-
big enough either.
Your dad is a chuck wagon racer?
Right. Yeah.
And that's why you're gonna all summer long?
Yeah, all summer.
How do you help? What's your duties around here?
Well, I mostly take the outrider horses out like before the race, so I ride them over there and then I give them to the outriders and then take them back and then ride them back here. But I also help like in the barns and wrap legs, like if they have an injury or something, then I wrap all the legs and just help with anything else I can do.
How many horses do you guys have?
19.
19? And where do you guys keep them? Do you keep them where you live?
Yeah,
How many horses here today?
17.
Woo!
Yeah.
You're feeding them alone?
No, I have help.
Okay, that's good. So let's see some more stuff.
All right, let's go.
So Charlie, who's this hyper horse?
This is Stretch. He's an outriding horse.
Wow, what's an outriding horse?
Well, they follow the wagon, which they have a rider on them. They have to get all their equipment in. They have to get around the barrels without penalties. All the outriding horses have to be within 150 feet of the wagon, and they have to race across the finish line.
And is he temperamental? Too temperamental?
I don't think so.
Just today for us.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, help me!
Different chuck wagon teams race at different times. So while some horses are being warmed up, others need to cool down because they're still steaming. So can you tell me a little bit about the history of chuck wagon racing?
Yeah, it was actually, it used to be a cookhouse chuck wagon. Like, it wasn't really a chuck wagon like this. It was built differently. They would have to race to the nearest, like, saloon or ranch or something, and they would have to throw all their stuff in the wagon, and the last person to wherever they were going would have to buy the round of, like, beer or alcohol or whatever they were drinking.
So how heavy is this thing? They really rumble when they're going, huh?
Yeah, the minimum weight, like, they have to be 1,325 pounds.
Now I noticed that yours is called Chick Wagon. What do you think of that name?
I think it's pretty cool. It's actually a really cool name.
Yeah, and you know what? We're two cool chicks.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
Hey!
That's Charlie's dad on the chick wagon getting ready for his heat. Unfortunately, while we were inside, a huge storm hit Calgary, making a mess of the Stampede grounds. But the race goes on, rain or shine.
And now the wagons for the 9th and final.
Finally, it's time for Charlie's dad's race.
There's the horn and there. The king is trying to take it. Grand Prophet says no. Here they come down the lane. Look at this. Kelly Sutherland in the middle. Grand Prophet on the rail. Rick Fraser on the outside. Here they come. Here's the wire. Look at that finish.
It was such a close race.
Look at that finish.
3 lead horses, nose to nose at the finish line. Along with getting completely covered in mud, Charlie's dad placed second in his heat.
Get your flapjacks. We got flapjacks with the bacon. Hey, you look like a hungry young man, huh?
Yeah.
You want a flapjack?
Sure.
Okay. You want some bacon on there?
Of course.
Yeah. You hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah. $10.
No, we're supposed to be free at Stampede.
Free? I can't believe that. You know what? If you're going to give something away for free, you got to use cheap ingredients, okay? You got to find something cheap. Hey, I got an idea. Get your grass cakes. Get your grass cakes. Oh yeah, that mud's fresh from Calgary. We like it here. Yeah, it's free. It's free, but leave a tip. Yeah.
All right, guys, it's that time again. Time to lather up.
No, it's not. It's time for the warm woolies. Actually, it's really triviography time.
And the triviography question is, what is a Chinook?
Chinook?
It is not a type of salmon. Well, actually it is. But that's not the Chinook we're referring to.
And it's not a northern Canadian explorer.
Chinook of the North!
But if you stick around, we'll tell you about the real Chinook. Hungry?
Yeah, sushi. Thanks.
Jamie has left me here to set up camp at the Calgary Stampede's Indian Village. Now this village has been part of the Stampede since the very beginning in 1912 and gives you a peek into the heritage of this area's First Nations people, the Plains Indians. Now Marcus here thinks he can set up his teepee faster than I can set up my tent.
You're on.
All right then. Ready, set, go. Teepee raising is actually a daily competition here in the Indian village, and each teepee is uniquely painted and decorated. Marcus took me to his family's teepee.
The teepee here, is it an accurate representation of the way that your people lived in the past?
Yeah, people stayed in here, like lived in here, and then this stuff used to be buffalo hide. The teepee used to be buffalo hide.
So would people who lived in the tent, would they stay in one place?
No, they'd follow the buffalo, stay beside the water.
Wow, so they would actually go where the food's going.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're wearing, because it's so beautiful and colorful.
It's just like grass dance outfit.
Okay, and when would you wear a grasslands outfit?
When I go dance, and like long ago, grass dancers, before everybody sets up camp, the grass dancers bless the ground, stomp down the grass.
Could you show me a little bit of it? Would we have enough room here that you could demonstrate? That's incredible, Marcus. What about your headdress? It's so beautiful. And are these feathers or?
These?
Yes.
Porcupine hair.
You're kidding. I really, really like it. It's so cool because it goes all the way down your back.
Marcus's grandfather has been coming to the Stampede since he was a kid. I had a chance to meet up with him.
These animals that are on the teepees, what do those represent?
The animals that been on these teepees, some of them have been handing down from generation. That are very spiritual, some of them.
And a lot of them have these lines drawn on their necks. What are the lines going
The
down?
necks, they represent the life of the animal, because the heart is right there. It goes up to you. Imagine up to your brain into the heart.
Yep.
That's how it's represented.
It's like a lifeline.
It's a lifeline. That's exactly what it is.
And all these teepees, are they different prairie tribes?
This is what they call Treaty 7. The Treaty 7 bands are all here, like the Blackfoots, the Bloods, Pagan, Sarsi, and the Stonies.
So this is a very special day.
It's a special day.
Because you wouldn't see all these people together usually, right?
That's what I say. You've never seen this kind of camp way back. This is a really neat camp in the Calgary Stampede.
This is a council teepee. On the prairies, a traditional encampment would have one big teepee in the middle of the camp circle. It would be used for ceremonies and tribal activities, and it usually belonged to the medicine man or the chief. So we're gonna have a little council meeting right now. What should we have for dinner?
Bannock.
Deal. That's good.
Can I take this off? I'm boiling in here.
Not until we get the answer. Excuse me. What is a Chinook?
Look,
What?
there's the answer.
Oh! Oh, maybe we should just ask Jay. Jay, what is a Chinook?
What is a Chinook? Chinook is a word first used by West Coast natives to describe a weather phenomenon. It means snow eater, and it describes the warm winds that occasionally blow through southern Alberta in the winter. These warm and dry winds can raise the temperature as much as 27 degrees in just a few hours. Calgary is famous for its Chinooks, but the winds are formed thousands of kilometers away over the Pacific Ocean. Warm, moist air masses head inland to form clouds. As the clouds rise over the mountains, they lose their moisture and become dry, warm air. This air travels over 3 sets of mountains, and by then, the air blown in by the Chinook winds to Calgary is pretty nice. Some Chinook winds can reach speeds of 160 kilometers per hour, but most Calgarians agree that a little bit of wind is a small price to pay for spring-like weather in the middle of winter.
The Calgary Stampede is a great place to visit if you love farm animals.
Every year, hundreds of horses, cows, and sheep come to the Stampede, and they all have one thing in common.
They all have 4 legs.
Okay, they have 2 things in common.
Oh, really? Oh, well, then what's the other thing?
They all leave presents.
Okay, who's cleaning this up?
Scissor, paper, rock!
Scissor, paper, rock!
So, what do I do with this?
We recycle it.
Well, all right. Well, where are we?
Well, this is Old College Composting Technology Center. It's part of our Old College Center for Innovation.
So what is compost?
Compost is the organic fertilizer that you produce from manure and other waste when you allow bacteria to break it down.
Why wouldn't you use just the manure? Why do you have to compost it?
Manure has a lot of pathogens in it, and there are some other nutrients that will pollute the water and the soil. When you compost manure, the pathogens are killed. All those nutrients and other contaminants, they are removed by the bacteria.
Pathogens are poisons?
Pathogens are those tiny organisms, germs that you cannot see, but they can make you sick.
Almost every day of the Stampede, manure is shipped up here to the center, and it takes about 2 months for it to turn into compost. And by then, it actually doesn't stink.
So where are we now?
Well, this pile is the pile for the municipal solid waste, what we call garbage. You've seen windrows and windrows of manure, and now you come to the other end, the garbage that we produce.
What is a windrow?
Each of these ridges is called a windrow. We pile the material to be composted in such a way that this equipment will be able to go over it and turn it. The windrow turner, when it goes through this, it mixes it up, it homogenizes it. But not only that, what comes out at the other end, the particles are smaller. So which makes it easy for bacteria to feed on it and break it down further. And the temperature must be right. And then the bacteria will just grow wild.
So there's bacteria at work right now in this dirt?
There are millions of them at work. Just about this contains between 10 and 100 million bacteria.
So how do you take the temperature? I mean, this is just like a huge pile.
Every day what we do is we put in a temperature gauge in each, and you'll see the temperature in a good pile should be between 55 and 70 degrees Celsius. Let's see what the temperature in here is. Actually, this is hot. It's 70 degrees Celsius in there.
In here?
Yes, and the bugs are growing wild.
It's so warm.
They are growing wild in there. It's 70 degrees Celsius.
So if we stick our hand in, will we feel how warm it is?
You can feel how warm it is.
Oh wow, it's it's hot.
You know?
Yeah,
It's kind of hot in there.
That is the same temperature that you take to pasteurize your food.
Wow.
That is the reason why the process kills all the pathogens in your waste.
I'd hope so.
Oh, definitely. It's good. Don't worry.
It's clean.
Good. It's clean.
It's clean dirt.
Well, we started with the garbage today, and this is the final product that you see. This is high quality compost.
That's amazing.
Thanks for being here.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful compost.
I'm using a portable camp stove to cook my chili. The stove uses propane, a type of gas to burn and create a flame. Butane, methane, ethane, and propane are some of the gases that make up natural gas. On their own, they have no color and usually no smell. In Canada, 25% of the energy we use comes from natural gas. We use it for everything from heating our homes to running our vehicles. Natural gas actually comes from underground. Large pockets of it have been forming underneath much of Alberta for millions of years. In fact, Alberta's a very gassy province. This basketball contains 1 cubic foot of air. Just imagine Alberta produces 5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas every year. That's 5 trillion basketballs. Alberta's the 4th largest producer of natural gas in the whole world. Natural gas is a fossil fuel. That's because it comes from materials that were once alive, like plants and animals. Let's head into the lab and find out how it goes from that to under our feet to that. Millions of years ago, Alberta was a very different place than it is today. It alternated between being dry like my bread and being covered by oceans like my jam. Each stage had its own set of plants and animals. These plants and animals died. Their remains built up within layers of the sediment. Like most organic material, these remains broke down and decayed over time. Then the intense pressure and heat of these layers on top of each other gradually converted them into sedimentary rock. It's here that natural gas is formed and got trapped within the different layers. I'm going to take these table scraps and put them into this bottle. Imagine that these layers building up inside my bottle represent porous rock, and the bottle itself represents a solid non-porous rock like shale. Natural gas can get through the spaces within the porous rock and work its way towards the surface, but when it hits the walls of my bottle, it should get stuck. My plan is to use this balloon to catch the gas. So I'll attach it to the top of my bottle and put the bottle in a sunny place. Now let's let the natural gas do its thing. Take a look at the balloon I put on the mouth of the bottle. It has inflated with the gas that was given off as the organic material broke down. The gas was trapped by the denser layer of the balloon. This gas stays in underground pools across Alberta until it gets pumped out and processed so that we can use it for energy. Excuse me. I guess that chili made some gas of its own.
A fantastic fact about southern Alberta is that it's home to one of Canada's first and largest working cattle ranches. The Bayou Ranch was established in 1882 and was known around the world for its cattle and Percheron horse breeding. It was once owned by one of the Calgary Stampede's founders, George Lane. It's also famous for employing one of the most notorious Western outlaws and train robbers, the Sundance Kid. Today, the 148-hectare ranch is a National Historic Site of Canada, and most of its famous visitors are long gone. At least we hope so.
Okie dokie, great! At least it's not upside down this time. What are you doing?
Do you smell something?
Yeah, and it's almost like manure.
Oh! Ooh, do you think it's from the composting center?
Oh, no.
Hey, you guys.
Eldon!
I'm gonna make big money off of that. Millions, because people buy that for dirt. Can you believe that?
You know what? Maybe there's a hotel nearby we can stay at.
Be careful of my manure. I'm gonna sell that for dirt and make millions. Yeah. Cowboy Eldon is my name. Reading poems is my game. Riding a horse on the open range makes your rear feel very strange. If I have to travel far, next time I think I'll take the car. That's my song.
Once they're done in August.
Me.
For real?
Yeah.
Like a little nip?
Stretch, I thought we were friends.
Stretch.
Yeah, they'll do that.